Okay, we removed the nuts from the rocker arm parts. And we remove this bolt and this bolt right here. And we've already tapped it a little bit on the back side. See how it comes off here. Don't worry about the gaskets, you got new ones. I'm going to flip it over here, take a look at everything on the bottom side. See how the rocker arms look. They all move freely. Doesn't look like anything's wrong in there. Looks like we got some good parts here, so nothing damaged by the looks of it. Set that down there. And we'll go ahead and pull the glow plugs out next with the 3 cylinders. So you have 3 of them right there. And we'll get those taken care of next. More likely just unscrew by the looks of them like a spark plug. Pretty common. But before you put new ones in, test your new ones. Some of these new ones don't work. I don't know why, but I'm not sure if they're not tested at the factory or what, but I've ran into, over the few years, I've ran into some that just, when you get them in a new package, they just don't work. Sometimes all 3 of them aren't any good. So you gotta test them before you put them back in. I don't care where you get them from. Okay, we're gonna go after this manifold, get the water pump. We're gonna get the glow plugs out first. And then we're going to move on. We're going to keep using the engine as an engine stand. I do this on a lot of motors. No better engine stand than the tractor or the engine itself. You take this and lay it down on the table, and then you're wrestling around with it. There's nothing worse than wrestling around with an engine. You don't need to. Okay, we're going to move on. Okay, we pulled the 2 bolts off this side. Was there 2 on that side? 3 and a nut down the bottom.
2 bolts in the nut.
Yeah, 2 bolts and a nut. So go ahead and pull the water pump right off. Okay. Now this blue stuff is probably the original gasket that came off. It's pretty clean in there. That's good because a lot of tractors have sludge in them. This one so far, no real sludge. So now we're getting ready to pull out the glow plugs, and you see when they put those together, see their engine hooks right here, right there. We're going to leave those on. If the machine shop wants them off, they can take them off. But it's kind of nice, easy to handle it. They need a little bridge crane if they need to, I don't know. But that picks the whole engine up, those hooks do. But we chose to do it this way because we had that extra weight here from the front end and stuff, and we chose to do it this way. So we put it back in. We're probably going to put this all back in here first. Put it right back together like this. And then we'll slide it back in the tractor. It'd probably be easier to get the motor in by itself on that spline shaft up there. But you are not going to get these bolts out right here very good between the loader frame and the tractor. You have a heck of a time with it. So we're going to put it back together, put the motor in the frame, and then shove it back, put it back together. It might give us a little trouble, but we'll get it. No big deal. That's the way you have to look at anything you work on, because if you get frustrated, then you got problems and you make mistakes. So take it nice and easy, do yourself a good job. Be proud of it when you're done. Alright, we're going to move on now. We're going to get these glow plugs out of there. They just unscrew like a spark plug. But there'll be brand new ones in there. We won't use the old ones. And this manifold is going to be a little bit of a tough job right there. As you can see, they're really on there. So whenever you use manifold bolts, use hardened grade 8 bolts or hardened grade 8 nuts, because they'll put up with the heat. Look up inside there. So we haven't any problems with it running per se. It did kind of gargle. It wasn't running like it should, but We're hoping that the oil pressure isn't anything serious. So we're going to find out. Alright, removing the glow plugs. They just remove like spark plug does. I've never ever broke one. But I'm sure there's always a first time for everything. So I never say never. You can't. Kenny's sticking them out. That tip on the end gets really red hot when you get the power supply put to it. There's different ohms to these, so some might be more powerful or wattages, so to say, to the other ones. So make sure you put the correct ones back in. I have to admit, some of these engines are probably all the same. There we go. As you see, it's got a point on the end there. This thing gets red hot. When the fuel hits it, it turns it into steam or atomizes it. Makes it easier to start the motor when the cold fuel hits it. Okay, and you can just get the other one out. You know how it goes, you know, when things are taking you a while. Pull up on it, because you got carbon sheet stuck. So get a pair of pliers if you have to. Alright. There again, we're getting that white deposit here again. You can see it. We're going to be checking that out, see if we can find out what's going on with that. But that's normally something you get when you have linemen in things, but some of it might be burn up ash and burn up fuel. There we got one again that's coming out hard. There we go. He doesn't have the white on him like the other ones did, but he pulled out hard. So anyways, we're going to do that. We're going to take a lunch break and then we'll be back. Oh, he wants to put everything in Ziploc bags. Do yourself a favor, and that way everything will be organized when you want to know where it's at or you go to put it back together. But everything looks good here. I don't see anything broken. That's what you're looking for. You can really see that. It's going to be interesting to see what this head looks like on the bottom side. Some of this stuff probably fell down in here. See you in a bit. Alright, we had to heat up the manifold to get the bolts out, but believe it or not, we got every one of them. Didn't break a one, even for 2 were nuts and 4 were bolts. So anyways, we got it.